Well, I've come down to meet Graham Mabey again from South Coast Rods. I think the first thing I need to do is congratulate you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So well done on becoming a 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗍 finalist and winning your semi-final.
Yeah, if I apologise if I come across a bit baggy-eyed and tired looking, but it was a crazy weekend's fishing. I think we had 109 fish weighed, nearly £1,000 in weight over 48 hours and about 4 hours sleep. And you know,
that sounds pretty hectic.
I got a bit of sleep last night and then came down to do this, but much quieter venue this one. We're back on my big syndicate, but yeah, it's a pleasure to have you down, Luke. And obviously a few things changed since last time we did a video.
What has been happening, because I do know obviously of a release of a new rod.
That's it.
But, it's more than just a different size rod, isn't there? There's a few more bits in the range.
There is indeed, yeah. Well, the last video I did was on the ST13, and then obviously before that we had the ST12. So the 12 and the 13 ST rods got released, and then in the background we've been working for a very long time on our utility rods, which are the SPOM and the marker rods, so a combined rod for SPOMing and marker use. And also, as you all know well, the ST shorty, which is our 10-foot rod.
Finally been released, isn't it?
It's just been released, so it's just been released. The reception we've had from them in the market is amazing. A lot of very good anglers are using them now. And,
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I know that because you've been using the 10-footers, haven't you? But
yeah, I mean, I love them.
Yeah, exactly. They're just, we're really happy. We've got a complete range now. You know, we've got the 10, the 12, and the 13-foot ST rods, and then we've got the 12 and the 13-foot utility rods. So you've got a complete range of the STs out there. And we've got a shorty here. This is a util rod. Yeah, you know, this is taking a battering over the weekend, but
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So how much bait did you get out over the weekend?
65 kilos. 65 kilos of bait went out on the weekend.
I don't even want to know how many spoms that would have been.
Yeah, so that's a lot of spomming, and you know, it's, well, I've been, obviously I didn't just use this rod for the weekend, I've been using this for about the last 12 months, I think, and it's just taken an absolute battering, and once you clear off all the spod mix and stuff, it'll look just as good as the day I got it out of the bag, you know. And yeah, they're really nice bit of kit. But yeah, they're all available to order. Oh, here we go.
Ooh, that's a little knock, isn't it?
Yep. We're on.
Is that going?
We're away, boy.
Carp or bream?
That's 𝗧𝗏.
Oh no, I'll put the camera down.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was a little bit of excitement, wasn't it?
It was indeed, yeah. Shame it was a bream, but a little bit of action just to wake me back up again.
Can't win them all, can you? So, are you going to get some more bait out, because the bream are clearly ravenous?
I think so, yeah. I've got another bag of boilies inside there, so I think what we do is let's get the boilies out. I've got a spot out there. Well, that one's at 25 wraps. Yeah. I think that's about 20, around about 20 wraps. So yeah, let's get the 12-foot util. Go and put a few spoms out and then show you what we can do, shall we?
Put it for its paces.
Nice, right.
Do you reckon you can hit the buoy?
I reckon I can hit the buoy, yeah. That's on the 25 wrap spot, isn't it? So
can you land it on the buoy?
On it?
On it.
What, like balance it on top of it?
Maybe not balance it, just hit it. I reckon you should go for that.
I'll tell you, if I hit it, you can put the kettle back on again then, yeah?
All right, that's the deal.
Let's go for that, that's the challenge. How many attempts do I get?
5.
5?
5. All
right, go on in. That's all right, yeah, 5. I reckon I can hit it in 5. Yep. Right, come on in.
Let's do it.
Let's go and see if I can do it. Okay, so we're just going to have a look at the accuracy of these ST12 util rods now. Because they're super lightweight in the hand, with the rings that we've put on there, the 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗃 with the 50-30 ringing, and the carbon that we've used, which is really lightweight and super responsive. They actually cast more like a fishing rod rather than a spod rod. So what I'm going to do is I'm clipped up at 26 wraps out towards the buoy. We have a little challenge, see if I can hit the buoy with the spom at 26 wraps. So here we go. If I get this, Luke's putting the kettle on. Let's have a go. That was about 2 foot to the left. I've got it. Oh, Luke, that's so close. That was literally about that far away from the buoy. I've got it. Oh! I've got it. I think I got it. Yes, boy. Put that kettle on. Now, when it comes to spod rods, a lot of people, the first question they ask is how far will it cast? And these util rods will cast to the horizon. They will cast a spom as far as you can put a lead on the ST12 and 13 rods. So if you've got the 12-foot U-Till rod, it will match up with the ST12s, and the same with the 13 U-Till and the ST13 carp rod. However, the important thing when it comes to spomming and baiting is how accurate they are, because there's no point spomming and baiting and having your bait all over the place and spreading it all over. You need to get that tight and accurate, and that will definitely help you put more fish on the bank. These rods, as I said before, they feel so light in the hand. They actually feel like a carp rod. They feel like your fishing rod. Super responsive carbon, extremely fast responsiveness on that 40-ton 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏, and the action on them is absolutely superb. And it honestly does make a difference to your catch rate, or to at least the way that you can fish your peg and get the bait into the water really accurately.
Right, there you go.
Thank you very much.
I think that's very well deserved after hitting the buoy.
I know, yeah, that's it. So yeah, well won cup of coffee, this one, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, those rods are very, very accurate, aren't they? They're, like, to be able to, what did you do, 6 or 8 casts, and they're all within a foot of the buoy. That's
it, yeah. And the reason for that is the carbon that we use. You know, it's super high grade 40-ton 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏. Very quick when it comes back and straightens up, which gives you the accuracy. Same as the ST12 and 13 carp rods, you know, same carbon used inside the U-Till rods. And U-Till stands for SPOM and marker rods. So they're equally as accurate and good for marker in use as they are with putting a SPOM out there. And it's so important to have a good utility rod, Luke. Yeah. You know, I can't emphasize that enough. I see so many people that have got lovely carp fishing rods, but then they're not matching it up with the U-Till rods. And that's what's going to put the bait out for you. That's what's going to be accurate with your baiting on a you know, on a dustbin lid, and get the fish feeding. And potentially you could be casting that rod 100 times more than your carp rods. Yeah, you know, it needs to be right, doesn't it? You know, you think about that. You turn up at the lake and you make, you know, 3 or 4 casts with your carp rods, put them on the alarm. And then if you're spodding over, you know, a couple of buckets of bait or something, how many more casts are you going to use with the U-Till rods? And they need to be up to the job, and these U-Till rods are. And the other thing that we worked hard on is to make them very balanced and light in the hand. Like, they do feel like a carp rod in the hand. You know, like when you're using this for a long period of time, it doesn't feel like you've been casting a broomstick or holding a scaffold pole.
I'd hate to think how many casts you've done over the weekend with this rod. Yeah, and here you are again today.
Yeah, my arms are still working, the shoulder's still working absolutely fine, you know, and it really is a remarkable tool, and we worked hard on this. I'd say it was harder to develop the perfect utility rods than it was actually coming up with the carp rods. You know, we put a lot of research and development into the ST carp rods, just as much into the utility rods, because they've been designed around using sort of a SPOM around about the midi-X size, which when we did our market research, that's the size that most people are using. It was still will handle a large, one of those great big large SPOMs with particle and stuff like that in a wet mix, a very heavy mix, but we purposely designed this one around the midi-X using like a Munger mix inside it, or just straight boilies inside there, and that's what it's been designed around, which is what most people use.
So is that why it feels a bit more like a carp rod, because it's not like a 5-pound test curve, it just feels better in the hand and it's easier to compress?
It's the components that we use, going to 50-30 ringing on the rings, using the 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃 air guides on it as well, which make it very light in the tip. The taper that we use on it as well, and the carbon quality bring the weight down. It's all about the balance of it as well. The carbon that we use, where it's that 40-ton 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏, that's where you get the difference inside it. Right, you know, that's where it's the ST carbon that we're using. You know, the same on the carp rods, it's the same with inside this utility rods. That's what makes it snap back super quick. It's what gives you the accuracy, gives you the lightness in the hand. Yeah, and it's been well received. It only just came to market, and yeah, we're selling lots of them. A lot of very good anglers are switching over to these and the ST carp rods to fish with. So
am I right in thinking that your one has been well and truly used and abused?
Oh, this has been battered, you know.
Because the dupe one's actually held up really well.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's actually a full shrink on the U-Tills here. So
shrinking,
this is a full shrink on the U-Tills, because the blank obviously in the butt section is slightly thicker than it would be on the ST13. So to make it sort of match and look nice, we've got in there with a full shrink on there. Carbon inlay reel seats, and you've got the markers at 1 foot and 2 foot here as well, for when you're using it as a marker rod and finding those features. But yeah, like this rod here, you know, apologies for the state of it. I think this put out 65 kilos of bait over the weekend in the BCACs.
But it still looks fresh.
Yeah, and that was just this weekend. You know,
this doesn't look battered.
This has been absolutely used and abused, but they can take it, you know. And that's again, we worked on it. We wanted a rod that can take the abuse that you're going to give a modern day carp rod, the same as all of the rods that South Coast rods bring out. But yeah, you know, we had I don't know, how many fish do we have on the weekend? 109 fish in a weekend, you know.
It's a busy weekend, isn't it?
It's a busy weekend, yeah. So a busy weekend fishing on the 𝗶𝗍𝗄𝐶s, and this one was the actual rod that I used for that. So yeah, that is the 𝗂𝗃 rods.
And they are available direct from yourself?
They are indeed. You can order these just from the website. So
yeah.
you just go onto the website. You can order them straight from the website. We're always available for people to phone up and just have a chat with us. Or you can get in touch with any of the ambassadors as well and just have a chat with them about what their thoughts are on them. But it's important to get the right rods for your fishing, whether that's the 12-foot or the 13-foot, you know, or the little 10-foot shorties that we just brought out as well.
I was going to say, that brings us nicely onto my set of rods, which is hiding just over there by the tree.
Looking really carpy over by the tree there, but you know the ST10s, you know, just as well as I do, because you've been using them for quite a long period of time, and super excited to bring those out, our little shorties, to market. And again, it just completes the range. You know, we've got a real nice complete setup there now of the 12, the 13 and the 10-foot fishing rods, the STs, and then we've got the util 12s and 13s to match up with the ST 12s and 13s as well. So so,
well, should we head over to the tree and have a little look at
let's take copies over and have a look at the 10, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Right, my 10-footers I'm very possessive of.
Your lovely 10-footers, Luke.
My lovely 10-footers. So this is what I've been using for the past, what, year probably?
Yeah, I think you've been testing them for about a year now, haven't you? Yeah.
I love them. Like, they're really nice rods. They're really nice all-rounders. And unless a certain work shoot has dictated it, I haven't used any 12-foot rods. Like, these cover me for everything I want.
And that's exactly what we wanted from a 10-footer. It wasn't just a margin tool or a boat rod. It's something you can use for everything. And you know, you've been testing them on the sort of types of fishing that you do, which is sort of small to medium waters, where you travel all around the country and, you know, fish everywhere. We've also had them tested overseas for boat use. A lot of European anglers want 10-foot rods for boat use. And the way that you know, again, it's the ST carbon, the 40-ton Toray carbon, but the way that the taper works on it is it doesn't really lock up, and I'm sure that you found that as well. It's powerful but progressive, and that's the same as the ST12 and the 13 as well, where we wanted something that has got the accuracy on the cast, but is powerful when you're playing the fish, but it doesn't lock up. And
so to me, it feels like it doesn't matter if you're playing a 10 or a 30-pounder. Like, you've got that reserve that if it is a 30-pounder and it's burying deep, like, it's got that reserve of, I don't know, it's really hard to kind of get across. You obviously know the science behind it. But
you've got the power, because the thing is with the blank is that once it reaches a lock-up point where basically the carbon's not bending with the lunges of the fish, that's where you start feeling it on your hands, and that's where it starts to feel very you know, you get nervous about your hook holds and stuff. Whereas what you're talking about is where it's a progressive power. If you've got like a 10-pound fish on the end of it and it's wallowing, you've got that sort of shock absorption on there. And if you've got a 30-pounder on there, obviously it's more weight, but you've still got that a bit further down in the blank as well. So it's just that progressive, powerful taper that we've gone for, which works beautifully in the 10-foot, the 12-foot and the 13-foot rods as well.
Yeah, and I think I've noticed the difference between, obviously I've had retractables for years in the past, but there's nothing quite like a proper 10-footer.
No, that's
it just feels so much better. And like short to medium range, it feels really accurate as well.
Exactly,
like, it goes where you
really
point
quick.
it.
Exactly that, You know, it comes back really quick with that fast action carbon on there. And it is an all-round fishing rod. Like I say, it's not just a margin tool. This isn't like a 6-foot, you know, retractable or something. You know, it honestly is a proper rod. And you know, in testing, I was fishing up to 120 yards with these. You know, casting them out on a little spot. I think I actually had the horseshoe record on the 10-footer. You know, that was like 40 pounds, and that's fishing at about 110 yards, I think. You know,
in a very weedy lake as
exactly,
well.
on a real, and then not once did I ever think that I was undergunned on it. You know, so they're superb rods.
Yeah, no, I love them. I have done from the moment I got them, and they're perfect all round.
And really light in the hand as well, aren't they? You know, they're super light in the hand and well balanced, which again, they've got the 40, rather than 50mm guides on there, we've got the 40mm butt guide on it. You don't need a 50mm butt guide on there. I mean, I've
been using heavy fluoro as well, and I've still been getting 70, 80 yards, no problem, even with obviously the 40mm guide. So I think 50 is going to be overkill on a rod of this length, really. Exactly,
it's all about coning the line off the spool down as quick as you can, really, and the 40 does that. So it's absolutely perfect. And like I say, there's been a few European anglers that have been testing out these 10-footers overseas, and they've caught some colossal carp from big, massive windswept European venues and stuff. And they're just a perfect all-rounder.
More than hold up.
And the thing is, they're rated at, you know, the test curve, they're rated at 3.5 pound test curve, which is very subjective, but they're just a good all-around 10-foot rods. You know, if you want to flick a 2-ounce lead down the margins, you can do. If you want to go and put a 10-ounce lead out from a boat, you know, on Cassian or somewhere, they do that as well. And just the same as the 12s and the 13-foots, we didn't want to confuse people with loads and loads of different test curves coming out. We've got the ST10, which is this rod, we've got the ST13, which is the 13-foot distance casting rod, and then the 12-footer, which is the sort of the all-arounder. But not loads of different test curves.
No, just
the
keeps it simple, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Got the important ones. But you mentioned obviously the ST12s and 13s. Both of those we've done dedicated videos for as well, haven't we?
That's it.
Where I think, did you hit 50 wraps with the 12 and then I hit 160 yards with the 13?
I think so, yeah.
So
I can't remember the details. I think at the end of the 12-foot video, I think I went and did 50 wraps with a 13.
That was it.
And then you cast the 13 on the 13-foot one. And, you know, again, it's not just about distance, it's about the accuracy as well. But yeah, go back and have a watch of the dedicated videos on the ST12 and the 13.
Yeah, we'll link both of those in the description under this video.
Yeah, exactly. And also, just to point out there to anyone watching this, you know, pick up the phone, get in touch with us, get in touch with any of our ambassadors. You can see them all listed on the website. It honestly is the best way to get feedback on the products.
Yeah.
And often what I do, Luke, is when people make an inquiry to me, I'll say, you know, go through our Instagram page or just search for the hashtag South Coast Rods and just drop a message to someone that's using them. You know, just even if it's just a random customer that's, you know, that's just tagged in South Coast Rods, because
see what they think of
exactly, they'll be able to give you an honest report and, you know, response as to what they think of the rods after they've purchased them. So yeah, go and do that, go and check it out, and you can always pick up the phone and have a chat with me or Stu anytime.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll probably let you have a bit of rest now that you've done all of this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I can go and get a little bit of rest. And mind you saying that, I wouldn't mind catching a carp out of here. So
nice, isn't it?
Rattling off.
But just to let you guys know, obviously all of these are available direct from the South Coast Rods website. Yeah, you've got stock of pretty much everything at the moment, haven't you?
That's it. Yeah, everything's in stock. So you can just go online, order direct from the website, and then we'll ship those straight to your door. And yeah, you have a beautiful new set of rods ready for the autumn feed up, eh?
Yeah, nice. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.